Well, it is September 21st and we're heading back down to the prairies, and this time my dad is in the shooter seat for an archery mule deer. My grandpa and his friend Jim are heading down also to hopefully spot a waterfowl shoot, so it's shaping up to be an awesome few days of hunting. We got a few bucks bedded on the first night here. Here they come, they're coming right down the pipe. Oh, so close, 10 yards and they busted. It's the first morning here and I just put to bed a beautiful buck that we're familiar with.
Oh, I missed. That was perfect.
He was a giant. Well, we just arrived to this field that my grandpa and his friend Jim have spotted, and I think they spotted a good shoot here. Boom! That was incredible. We just watched two nice bucks go to bed in a great spot. Dad's going in on a local herd of muleys, fingers crossed.
I smoked him. He's gonna go down. Oh my god.
My name is Mitchell Payment. I started tagging along with my dad to go hunting basically since I learned to walk. I grew up living the outdoor lifestyle, learning from my dad and any hunting video I could get my hands on as a kid. Once I turned 12, the legal age to hunt, we started taking things more serious than ever, working hard and learning through experience to better our odds to fold our tags on the animals we are pursuing. It has helped us grow into who we are now. Welcome to Season 5 of Moment of Truth TV.
I just killed the bull of my dreams. Smoked him.
This buck is what dreams are made of.
Oh my god. Yes!
I'm at a loss for words.
Oh, he's so nice in return.
He is such an awesome buck.
I crushed him, man.
That was unbelievable. Dad's quest for archery mule deer only started in the past few years. Previously, always just waiting to get drawn for a rifle tag, which usually took about 3 years to draw.
Stop that. Awesome. Oh gosh.
That extra element of having to cut the distance down and make the usual high pressure shot with the bow had never come into play until 2 years ago while going in after a prairie elk and coming across a herd of mule deer sparring and thrashing bush before they went to bed. I handed Dad my bow and he knocked it out of the park with a great shot on a beautiful muley buck.
Nice shot, Dad. Look at that buck. I'm so happy.
Now this year, with my early success with my bow at the beginning of September, it's time to head to the prairies to see if Dad can send a victory arrow to find its mark on another great mule deer. Well, it is September 21st and I'm loading the truck up and we're getting ready to head down south again for another trip. I'm super excited, and last year this time we were heading down on the same trip and my dad had a trophy antelope tag, but this year he's got the archery mule deer tag. So we're hoping to do a repeat of last year, a big game animal and an awesome waterfowl hunt. So we're gonna finish loading the truck, hit the road, and meet you down there and hopefully have some good hunting action and enjoy the beautiful, beautiful prairies. Moment of Truth TV is brought to you by RV City, generations of family fun. Ole Smokes Coffee, coffee for the courageous. iHunter app, know your regs inside and out. Black Widow Deer Lures, #1 whitetail estrus and deer scents. Tacticam, share your hunt. Sights and Arms, your firearm specialists. And by Prime Archery, the most accurate bows on the planet. This segment is brought to you by the iHunter app. Know your regs, where you're hunting or plan to go, right on your mobile device. Truck's all loaded up and ready to go. It's time to make a mile of mule deer country. Well, we're just making our way down the camp, final stretch. And it's always a good sign when you kind of make it down the highway without spotting a bachelor herd of bucks. We're just watching them now and it's midday. Looks like they were hot. They might have been bedded in the standing barley and now they're just working their way across. They might end up in this one draw and we'd have to make a phone call to see if we can get permission to go in there. It's just an older buck with not super great genetics and I think it'd be a perfect one for Dad to stalk. He looks mature, but it's awesome seeing deer already and a buck of that caliber and maturity. So for now, we're watching a beautiful buck on the skyline of a beautiful prairie set. After watching that group of bucks go into that draw to bed, it was time to go meet up with Gramps and get unloaded at camp. Well, there goes our waterfowl guides right there to go spot a shoot. I don't know, hopefully they can find some birds. We didn't see many driving down, but they seem to always be able to pick out a shoot. So we just got permission to go hunt that mule deer, so I think we're gonna go try to stalk him. I called the landowner and he said give her, so thankful for that. But we're gonna get unpacked and then get dressed and head to the hills. Let's go.
It's gonna be a good night. Yeah, it's good. Okay, we finally unpacked. We got out here. We kind of came up with a game plan. We parked behind this hill so they can't see us from the coulee. We're gonna walk down this ditch and there's a creek that runs through here. So we're gonna try to stay as low as we can and get as close as we can. We might not get right in on them. We might get into position and wait for them to get up, and we think they're gonna come this way through the draw. They're not gonna go up the hill, so the wind should be good. But another thing is the wind almost died down. So it's gonna be tough, but we're gonna make an attempt at these guys because there's a pretty nice buck in there, so it's good. Let's get after it.
Upon entering the draw leading up to the deer, we noticed one lone doe up on her feet grazing. With lots of ground still to cover, we knew we were going to have to stay low and crawl our way into position. Once we got to the end of the creek bed, more deer started to join the doe, including the big mature buck we came in here for. Just as we had hoped, the deer started working their way in our direction down the draw. We quickly got behind the only cover, and shortly after, a spike appeared only 80 yards away. After a quick glance over the shrub brush, the rest of the deer started to follow suit and were coming right for us. We could hear them coming and they were all over us, only 8 yards away on the other side of the shrub. We seen antler tips at 12 yards right below us in the draw, and with no shot presented, they spooked and peeled out the other way.
Ooh, well, that was pretty exciting. I think we just got a little bit unlucky here. We come up this creek bed, it's a mile, and we got up pretty close to these bucks. We knew we weren't gonna get any closer. The only cover we had was right here, so we belly crawled up to here, and it didn't take long. They started coming across these flats. They come right down the pipe, and that little guy, he stopped right below us, and he just stopped. He busted, and the rest went that way, and that's all she wrote.
That was an amazing encounter and something I'll remember for a very long time. And we've always wanted to stalk one in this coulee system here, so that was pretty cool. But we're gonna head back to camp, meet up with Grandpa and Jim, regroup. We'll be right back at it. That was just a great way to kick off our hunt. Hopefully the next one ends with a bloody victory arrow. Here's something coming. You couldn't see the guy this tall. And something was going crazy. With light just starting to crack the skyline on our first morning, it's time to get to a vantage point and hopefully put a buck to bed. Well, it's the first morning here. This morning I've been watching some beautiful bucks, even bucks that we've come close to arrowing 2 weeks ago when I was hunting. I have splits, I'm calling them. It's got the split G3s, absolute beauty, good frame. He went into a draw actually where I killed my buck last year, but for now, just enjoying the beautiful morning in the prairies. Some specks moving through right now and it's just absolutely gorgeous. Look at this. After watching and putting splits to bed, It was time to go meet up with my dad and get ready to go in after this beautiful buck.
If I'm gonna wear it, it needs to work. It doesn't matter where I go. It doesn't matter what I hunt. Huntworth works. It doesn't matter if the weather's good or bad. Huntworth works. And if Huntworth works for me, it'll work for you and your budget. Any game, any place, anytime, Huntworth works.
This segment is brought to you by Sights and Arms for all your firearm, shooting, and hunting needs. Also, get booked for the best firearm training, shooting sports, and reloading courses today. With the sun rising and a bit of wind picking up, the conditions are now set for the stalk for splits.
Okay, it's our first morning here. We're about to stalk a buck that the last time we were here, it was our 8-hour stalk. He got up and he busted us. We'd sure like to get him. He's a nice buck, so we're gonna walk down this creek bottom. He's actually in stuff just like this, the same creek bottom down a ways. It's gonna be tough, but we'll give her a shot. So let's head in there.
As we made our way down the creek bed, I was continuously glassing, looking for antler tips, when finally I spotted chocolate tines within the grass, only 40 yards away. With the grass tall, we decided to close a bit more distance to get even more within Dad's comfortable range, making it to 34 yards before stopping. After an hour and a half, the buck rose from his bed, only being able to see his tine sticking up through the grass while he was in the creek bed. We were waiting for a shot. He started to work his way away from us into the open, and it was now or never.
Oh, I missed.
Dad, what was that?
Well, that was crazy. We sat here for what, an hour and a half, and we look and there's racks, and it's kind of quite a hole there. We can just see their antlers, and I'm waiting for him just to come broadside, which he was doing. As I was swinging on him, the release went off. I shot a foot behind him. I wasn't even close. I'm learning as I go, and I'm hoping that doesn't happen again, because that was a wasted attempt. That was perfect.
He was a giant. After heading to the truck and taking a few practice shots and touching arrows right in the bowl, all we can hope for now is another opportunity. After having an incredibly close encounter and the mule deer coming out on top, it's now time to head to a field shoot my grandpa and his friend have spotted to hopefully get some redemption. Well, we just arrived to this field that my grandpa and his friend Jim have spotted, and our waterfowl guides I think knocked it out of the park, and I think they spotted a good shoot here. They said there's a bunch of Canadas, bunch of ducks, and it's just a huge pea field and it is full of peas, so we're just cutting some willows now for the blind. We're out for redemption tonight, and I wouldn't want to be a honker, so we're gonna get the Revolution Arm shotguns out with score ammunition and put them to work, but first we gotta get set up. Dad, are you on him?
Yeah.
We had to take those, all these birds flying over, and we got 2 of them, so that's pretty cool. Okay, we're gonna take these 2, Grandpa. Whoa! Got him on my 3rd. Did you see the landing gear out on those? They just dropped them, they were coming in. That was beautiful. Wow, I love that. Right up front. We're gonna take you. Boom, boom. Boom! I think so. That was incredible. Covered in the wind.
The second one you shot? I shot it in.
Yeah. Oh, did you? Oh, I hit him again.
They're perfect. Yeah, these are perfect. Okay. Woo! I was kind of waiting for you on that one. Here comes a whole bunch of ducks.
Well, that turned out to be an absolute incredible night. Jim and Grandpa did an amazing job spotting this shoot, and I can't thank them enough. The amount of specs that came out were just phenomenal. Thousands and thousands just coming our way, and we were able to knock down our limit and get 2 candas along with a couple ducks. But overall, it was just a gorgeous night on the prairies. Thanks for coming along, and we're gonna pack up and enjoy the rest of the evening. Moment of Truth TV is brought to you by Revolution Armory, Canada's best custom shotguns. G5 Outdoors, designed to hunt. Burris Optics, find what matters. Reveal Cellular Cameras, always on the hunt. Victory Archery, the carbon arrow experts. And by Score Ammunition, proudly Canadian. This segment is brought to you by Tacticam, the best first-person hunting camera on the market. Made for hunters by hunters. Share your hunt. The following morning, we were back out on the search for another mule deer for Dad to stalk. While watching a couple thousand birds go into a pea field, we spotted a couple nice bucks leaving the crop fields, heading towards a slough bed to go to bed for the day. Watching these bucks with one of the most beautiful prairie backdrops was a sight to behold. The bucks having disappeared in the slough bed, the stalk was on. Upon sneaking into the slough bed, we spotted antler tips within the willows. And there lied the 2 bucks as we got into good position only 34 yards away. It then became a waiting game, hoping they would stand and step out for an opportunity. After about an hour of waiting, the biggest of the 2 rose from his bed. This beautiful buck, slowly working his way out into the clear while munching on willows, was thrilling, and it was looking like Dad was about to get his second chance.
Until I can't do this.
An absolute heartbreaker. Dad crept forward a bit at full draw, causing the release to go off, sailing his victory arrow a bit low of the buck's heart. Well, we just got back to the truck and turned on the AC. We're cooling off a bit. It was hot sitting there, but it's really unfortunate it didn't work out, you know. We'll be accepting pro staff applications here in a week. No, but it happens. It is what it is. We've literally stalked in right in tight to every buck that we've put to bed, which it doesn't normally happen like that. We've just been getting lucky, and we just got nothing to show for it, but a couple misses and some footage. But we can't give up, you know. It's just, I think once he finally gets a clear shot off, the thing's dead, but it's just some weird stuff's going on with just some little malfunctions, so we're just gonna keep driving around. As the day went on, we continued our search for mule deer, covering ground, hoping for one last opportunity. When we spotted a group of bucks working their way up out of a coulee system, we began our stalk, sneaking up just out of range, following them. After crawling through a cut canola field, with our hands and knees in pain, we found ourselves within range of the bedded bucks. When they ended up standing, with the blistering wings, the conditions just weren't right for the shot, and we watched these bucks hop out of our lives forever, wrapping up our trip. Dad's quest for mule deer didn't end there, keeping tabs on a local herd close to home, and even having them walk by while out moose hunting. We were hoping for one last opportunity. After getting a pic sent to us of a nice buck zipping by our Reveal cellular camera, Dad found himself heading into the tar blind solo as I was at Thanksgiving dinner. As the night went on and the sun began to set, the big muley buck stepped out and began to graze his way across the field. When the buck stepped behind the row of spruce trees, Dad made a quick decision to get down out of the tar blind and try to intercept him, when all of a sudden he found himself face to face at 10 yards with this beautiful buck. With a row of tall grass and weeds in between them, the buck could just see the camera, and with the wind in Dad's favor, he had no clue what it was. The buck working downwind and nervous, Dad knew he had to make it happen.
I smoked him. I just smoked a beautiful mule deer. He's gonna go down. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes. I can't believe it. Oh my God. Mitch, you trained me, man. I would have never done that if I hadn't watched you for the last freaking 7 or 8 years or whatever. Oh my God. Yes. We watched that thing on the reveal trail cam this morning. Knew he was bedded in here, just like that little buck yesterday, and oh my God, yes! I'm so happy. I was 10 yards from that thing. He knew I was here, he saw the camera, he didn't see me. But, oh my God, I think I made a perfect shot on him. I think I drilled him. I think I just got myself a beautiful mule deer. I really do. I think he's gorgeous, and I'm just so happy. That was so much fun. But I gotta call Mitch right now.
After getting the fantastic call from Dad, Kaylin and myself were on our way to help with the recovery.
I have my buck, he's down. Yes! Oh my goodness, I am so happy. Okay guys, here he is. Oh my God, what a night.
Congratulations, Dad.
Thanks,
I can't believe it.
Thanks.
Oh, that's what I'd like to call a mule deer roller coaster.
Oh.
You know, Dad had some close encounters. He's an awesome shot with the bow, but just had some hiccups and wasn't able to get a proper shot off. And wouldn't you know, I think everything happens for a reason, because we were able to get on this local herd of mule deer. It was just, you know, the experience is amazing. This deer has all kinds of character, mass, all kinds of kicker points, amazing brow tines. And
6x6, really.
he is an awesome buck, bigger than any buck we had any opportunity at in the prairies. So thanks you guys so much for coming along and watching this. You know, we really appreciate it. Without you guys watching, we wouldn't be able to do this. So I hope you enjoyed this hunt. Congratulations, Dad. You're able to put your bow to work on just an incredible deer. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode, and stay tuned for another episode on Moment of Truth TV.
Closed captioning is brought to you by RV City, located in Mornville and Nisku, Alberta.